It's Rob!
Tony! And I'm Jeff.
We're in gaming.
And that's you.
Hey guys, how's it going? Warshak here with the Inn, and we're rank 10. I know, it's sad. The season restarted, so we're no longer legend, but the road to legend again continues. I'll be posting our the road to legend video when we got to legend up shortly. It's just school and whatnot has kept me pretty busy, so just finishing up some minor editing and minor touches. But for Dragon Shaman, like always, we'll be playing 3 ranked games. We'll win 3 in a row. Hopefully we'll win 3 in a row. We're gonna win 3 in a row. And yeah, kind of show off the deck, how to play it and whatnot. So off the bat, you see a lot of spells in this deck. This deck does rely heavily on the early game of you not just getting completely wiped out. So we put Lightning Storm, we put the Elemental, the new, what is it called? Elemental Destruction in the deck. Definitely a crazy, crazy card. But if you can combo it with your Lava Shock, it's all okay. So this game, like I said, kind of starts off slow, so going against an aggro deck, you have to get the ideal hand, which is either like Earth Shock, Lightning Bolts, Lava Shocks, Elemental Destruction, Chain Lightning, your Wolves. So I mean, there's a lot of features in this deck that help deal with the early game, and then when it hits mid game, you just go crazy. So off the bat, it looks like he has a decent 3-drop, but we have a decent 4-drop. And then turn 4, we don't have really anything planned, so hopefully we can either draw into something. Worst case, we'll totem and see what he plays, but it looks like we'll just probably be making this trade on the field. It looks like he's playing, so it's a dragon deck versus dragon deck. Alright, so that's a pretty nice Earth Shock, so I think we'll totem up. Not that it matters if we get a spell power or not, but we don't have a 2 mana to replace it, and we just don't want to Earth Shock for no reason. So we'll Earth Shock, not Earth Shock, but Lava Shock for no reason. So we'll Earth Shock the 3/1 so he doesn't give the other dragon the extra health, and we'll end our turn. Unfortunately, our dragon is going to die, but our turn 6 doesn't look that bad because we can Chain Lightning and then Lava Shock, depending on what he plays. So hopefully he plays like maybe 2 creatures, like a Northshire Cleric and maybe a 2-drop. The 2/4 with Taunt. Like, that'd be ideal if he plays 2 creatures, but yeah. It'd be bad if he just healed this card up and ended his turn. Okay, so he played 1. He played the 2/4 with Taunt. Wow. Alright, so he's gonna give, I'm guessing, the 3/3. Yeah, he's gonna give that guy more health, and then he's gonna heal it up. Okay. Alright, so he played another creature, which was kind of worth it. Let's see what we draw. Alright, yeah, so it looks like we're going to Lightning Storm. And then we're going to Lava Shock the one that remains. And then we'll kill it off with our totem. Okay, so again, holding off the field. Honestly, we didn't get that great of a hand. Getting Chillmaul and Sylvanas isn't ideal. Like, getting maybe like an Azure Drake or one of our Corruptors and having a dragon in our hand is helpful. Also, this deck is kind of expensive. I know... Oh, shit, he just took our Spell Power Totem. Alright, well, at least we know he's running the Shadow Priest, which tells me he's running the Shrink Masters, which means if we play Malygos or Ysera, that he could Shrink Master and Shadow Priest it, which is a huge deal. So, unfortunately, we didn't really have anything to play besides the Azure Drake, and if we played it, he would have just killed it off with his 4/5, but now he's in a little bit of a situation with Sylvanas, because he has to do something extra. If he Shadow Word Deaths it, we have a 50% chance to take a 4/5. If he kills it with a 4/5, he's going to have to, you know... He's gonna have to cast something to like do that 1 extra damage. So we put him in a tight spot here. So I mean, best case he like fills his field and thinks that he has the time, but really it's just not good for him. Okay. All right. So yeah. So what do we take? We take our totem back. All right. Any other card on his field would have been great. Like, even the Northshire Cleric would have been better. But this is fine. I'm thinking we might just... We get the Lightning Storm, and hopefully everything hits 4. Unfortunately, we don't have 8 mana, so we can't Azure Drake and then Lightning Storm for the guaranteed kill. So we'll just hopefully it kills this field, or at least 2 of the 3. Alright, that didn't work out very well. Well, all we can do now is pretty much totem and end our turn. I really don't want to waste an Elemental Destruction on 2 cards with 1 health. We are winning in card advantage, though. Actually, no, we're not. Totems don't count as cards. So, yeah, we are... No, 6 cards to our 6 cards. Yeah. No. Yes. No. Yes. Because we draw 1 next turn, so it is 6 to 6. Alright, so it looks like he's going to heal up. Is he going to play a creature? He's not going to play a creature. Oh, no. So we're in a bit of a sticky situation now, because I really don't want Elemental Destruction, but it looks like that's... Well, Azure Drake, see what we can draw. Earth Shock. If we Earth Shock the Shadow Priest, it just doesn't really do much. It doesn't kill it, it gets rid of the villains, but it's just not worth it. We have to save Earth Shock for when he plays something, when we have to, like, kill off a creature, or he just... What would he play that we'd have to Earth Shock? Maybe a Paltris if we can't Hex it, but we do have the Hex in our hand.
I wonder.
We'll see. We have the Hex. I like running 2 Hexes. Most people don't run Hex. If they do, they just want to run. They run 1, and it's... To me, it's a 3-drop Polymorph. I mean, Polymorph costs 4, which is pretty expensive. But 3? Like, 3 mana to get rid of whatever the fuck you want is a very cheap price to pay, in my opinion. So it looks like he's going to heal up that card again. Not heal it up, but power up its health. And it looks like we're going to Elemental Destruction. And hopefully it kills off his field. It would have to hit a 5 on the Shadow Priest. We also have 2 Elemental Destructions, but we don't have a Lava Shock, so we'll be shut down. But we'll be able to Volcanic Drake. I could see him, like, wasting... Did we get a spell power? We didn't. Either way, we'll be able to Volcanic Drake because we kill an extra card. Yeah. So we'll Volcanic Drake, and the only thing you would have to really deal with this is like a Shadow Ward Death. And if he wants to use a Shadow Ward Death on a 6/4 that I cast for 2 mana, that's fine. So talking about the deck list... Oh wow, he did Shadow Ward Death. Okay. Well, looks like Chill Maul's coming out next turn. Does he have the dragon in his hand? He does not. Alright, so this tells me he does not have a dragon in his hand, and he had no other creature to play. Which is a good amount of information from the 3 cards in his hand, which maybe he says he has a Mind Control. He could be playing that Mind Control. So, I might just... I can't even play Chill Maul. And maybe a Totem and Passive kind of turn. Totem and Passive, I mean, we could heal. I meant Totem and End. Did we win? Wow, we didn't win. That's not cool. Alright, at least it's heal for 7, right? 3 mana heal for 7. It's not too bad. It's like a antique heal bot without the 3/3. So it's like pay 2 more. To pay 2 more mana to get a 3/3. Right? Healing for 14 though is insane. It's talking about the deck list. Uh-oh. There's a Shrink Master, by the way. So he's used a Shadow Priest and a Shrink Master already. So the chances of us playing when we play Ysera or Malagos, I don't think he'll be able to have those 2 cards off the bat. If he does, it's kind of suck. It really sucks, but man. So we're pretty much just going to fill up our field. I guess he could Shadow Madness one of these, but I don't think he's going to do it. It's automatically going to kill off his 3/2, and his 5/4 is going to swing into the 2/3. If he heals it, that's fine, because then we could either Hex it, or we can kill it off with our 6/4. But I think he might play a decent sized creature here, so that's what I've been kind of saving the Hex for. I don't like to waste Hex, because, like, let's say he plays like a Ysera. This deck has no way of dealing with the Ysera unless you Hex it. Elemental Destruction, it's only 5 to 6 or 4 to 5 damage. It's nothing like it's... Oh wow, we wasted another Shadow Ward Death on a Volcanic Drake. So that's both his Shadow Ward Deaths on our fucking Volcanic Drake. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna Elemental Destruction again. Or we could play Azure and Passive. Or we'll play Chill Maul. Yeah, I think Chill Maul's a better choice. I'll save Elemental Destruction. Because if he swings into it with his 5/4 and his 3/6, then it'll kill both. Unless he Holy Nova'd, and then it'll bring that guy down to 3 health. Okay? And now he's gonna Corrupt her. Alright. Okay, I think it's now, yeah, definitely time for Elemental Destruction now. 2 for 1, and we'll play the Azure Drake to draw 1, and then we'll Passive. We could play the Twilight, but he could Shadow Madness it, or Shrink, nah, probably wouldn't do either of those. I feel like the Azure Drake for the draw is just the better choice here. And instead of using our passive, we could have used our draw 2, but then if we use our draw 2, we can't play the 4-drop next turn, because we'll only have 3 mana. Unless we drew Lava Shock, but I didn't want to count on that. So, we're going to... We could passive, see what we get. Got the taunt. Okay. So we can kill off that card and then swing for 4 and then draw 2. And then now we'll have 8 mana next turn. And I suppose instead of playing the, using our passive, we could have played the dragon. But I didn't have a dragon in my hand, so it wouldn't have taunt. And it would have 1 less attack, so I just throw out my passive. Having a 3 attack on the creature, the priest isn't known for burst, so I'm not really scared of him. Like, you know, he's not a hunter, he's not a rogue, so 11 health is, as long as he doesn't have creatures on the field that can do 11 damage, I think we're alright. So we're going to deal 3 damage to this 3/5. I didn't really want to use a lava shock on this guy. I normally save it for when I elemental destruction, but because we don't have elemental destruction anymore in the deck, there's no point that we can't just use lava shock to kill it. And use Sarah, how nice. So we'll swing for 4 and end our turn, which is nice. We're at 25 health again. The 2 healing waves in this deck are kind of what stops it from losing against aggro decks. Having the 4-drop, having our Feral Spirits and the Twilight Guardian, that stops Rush in its tracks, and if they manage to get past that, we've got Chill Maul, which is great against Grim Patron, and I think we should Lightning Bolt, because if he ends up, just by any chance he takes Malagos, we want to get this 9 damage off. 9 damage, 1 drop is OP. No matter how you look at it. 1 mana to deal 9 damage. I accept. So let's say he would have taken Malagos. We had 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. And so even if he took Malagos, we still have lethal. But if we wouldn't have used Lightning Bolt, so it looks like that was game, and he only had a Vol'jin. And heading on to game 2. So we'll talk about the deck a little bit, since we haven't really done that. I've been talking a little bit more about the playstyle. Anyway, so Earth Shock, this card is great, and you don't really need Iron Beak Owl because of Earth Shock, and it does damage, and your totems can power it up, and your Azure Drake powers it up. There's just, Earth Shock, in my opinion, is just one of those cards that should be, if you're going to play a Shaman deck, it should be in the deck. Like, it's just a free silence, and it's damage, and it only costs 1 mana. Starting hand here, gonna probably get rid of those 2 high drops. We're gonna keep Lightning Storm because he could be playing that Secret Paladin deck, and Muster for Battle. It's just good to keep the Lightning Storm. Like I said, it's kind of one of those early game cards that it doesn't set you ahead, but it keeps them from being ahead of you until that mid game when this deck kind of picks up. Lightning Bolt, we're running 2 of these because of Malagos. And Malagos honestly isn't necessary in this deck. I just like them because of the Lightning Bolt potential, the Lava Shock, the Elemental Destruction, the Lightning Storm. He just really helps out and also scares the shit out of your opponent. When people normally whip out Malagos, the following turn is a win. So he'll do everything he can to kill it, and that'll either delay him from playing other creatures, even if you don't have the game, or it could be you winning next turn, depending on if you have the double Lightning Bolt in your hand. So, we got the spell power. So we're obviously going to Earth Shock the Shielded Mini-Bot here for the 2 damage and its death. So we paid 1 mana, killed a 2-drop with Divine Shield. I mean, that's Earth Shock for you. That's value. So, turn 4, we're obviously going to play Twilight Guardian because we have the dragon in our hand. We're playing Volcanic Drakes. I'll get into why we're playing those. That's not really a normal card you'd see being played in a dragon deck, just because the stats on it aren't great. Let me tell you, for a 6-drop, a 6/4, those are not great stats. But Elemental Destruction, let's say, kills 4 cards, he turns into a 2-drop. And because Elemental Destruction, if you don't have the Lava Shock, is going to delay you a turn, playing a 6/4 right after you clear the field puts either your opponent on edge, so then they waste spells to kill that, delaying them from playing creatures, allowing you to make up for that turn that you've lost, or if they do not kill it, they play a creature, and then you can easily make a decent trade because its attack is high enough to kill like a creature a 6-drop or lower. So it's just his HP that doesn't make it good, but his effect makes him worth playing. So here, it looks like we're going to be Lightning Storming. Because we got that spell power totem down, it'll definitely kill that card that got avenged. Unfortunately, he brought back his Haunted Creeper. So it's gonna summon the 2/1/1s. So there was really no way around that. Because normally you of course pop the Death Rattle. So we had to kill his field there. Competitive Spirit would have destroyed us. So it is Secret Paladin, of course. I mean, that's what other Paladin is there? You'll see the occasional mid-range Paladin, and then they'll just get wrecked. I mean, they'll win occasionally, but for the most part, mid-range Paladin loses. Alright, so we killed off his 1-1 because if that was Redemption, I wanted it to bring back a 1-1 and whatnot. And it's just easier to kill this way. So it was Redemption as well, and that's an Avenge, okay. So we're going to have to... There's really no way to get rid of that 5-4. We can lower it, so if it attacks the wolves, it'll die, and then we can use our 3-5 to kill off the 2-2. So now... Okay, so his 5-1 can swing into our 3-3, that's fine, or it can kill a 2-3. We're safe from Consecration because I won't kill my field, but we're not safe from this Dr. 6 over here, the Mysterious Challenger. So how many secrets did he pull out? He pulled out 2 secrets because he's already played a decent amount. So when playing Secret Paladin, you kind of have to figure out, not figure out, but you have to remember the secrets that he's already used so you can kind of narrow down what's on the field, whether it's, you know, because there's a big difference between a Noble Sacrifice and a Competitive Spirit. So, we'll swing, and it is the Noble Sacrifice. We already knew he played a Competitive Spirit. We already know he played Redemption. We already know, actually 2 Redemptions he's already played. So we don't really have to worry about that anymore. And I am assuming it's not an Avenge, and we don't need to draw 2. Actually, we can draw 2. It wouldn't be too bad. And the next turn we can Lava Shock if need be. Yeah. Okay. I was looking for a Hex. Just because that 6-6 needs to die. So I'm going to assume if that's not a Avenge, it's not a Noble Sacrifice, it's not a Redemption. I wonder how many secrets. Another Mysterious Challenger. Pulled 1 secret out. Okay. Okay, so this, I'm assuming he has his other secret in his hand. Alright, so we did pull out the Hex. Nice. Okay. Swing, that's another Noble Sacrifice, so now he has no more Noble Sacrifices. And that's not an Avenge, so everything will stay. It's not a Competitive Spirit. It must be when I play a creature, it reduces its health down to 1. Unfortunately, we can Hex a 6-6. We could have Lava Shocked the 6-4 and then Corrupted, but then he would still have a 6-6. I'd much rather him have a 6-4 because if we end up drawing an Elemental Destruction or another Chain Lightning, we'll be okay. We could kill off the Secret Keeper, but I don't think there's a point because there's no more secrets really in his deck. He might have like 1 or 2. Yeah, he still has maybe 1 Competitive Spirit. But besides that, I don't really see anything huge. I see okay, I see a Chill Maul in our future. Even if it gets reduced down to 1, his guy will be a 6-1, and hopefully we can draw some sort of damage. If not, a Corruptor can take care of it. So we'll be able to just Chill Maul and passive. Or we could Dr. Boom, but I don't think it is the card that reduces its health down to 1. So I don't think Dr. Boom is a good play here. I think Chill Maul is our best bet, like I said. I always just, if you have Dr. Boom in your hand, you gotta play him. So it is Repentance, bring the creature down to 1. Which is fine because Chill Maul, the whole point of playing him was for him to die anyway, because he'll clear the Paladin's field. He'll obviously swing into it with like his Silverhand Recruit or a Secret Keeper. It'll bring his 6-4 down to a 6-1, but that's fine because we'll just play Corruptor next turn and probably passive unless we can draw like maybe an Azure Drake. And that will be good as well. Or we could play Boom and Lava Shock. Or we could play, or we could play Emperor and Lava Shock. I think Emperor and Lava Shock isn't bad. And we'll pass it. And I only play Emperor because I have Malygos, Sylvanas, Dr. Boom, and a Corruptor in my hand. If I didn't have so many high drops, I wouldn't really play them. But because we have 5 cards in our hand, it's worth it. If we would have had like 2 or 3, I wouldn't have Emperored at all. But because we still have at least 5 cards in our hand, even 4 depending on what those cards were. So if we would have played Dr. Boom, it would have got Equality. So I don't mind Emperor dying because his effect right away. End your turn, he's like a Ragnaros, you get it off. He gets the exactly what he's meant for. We'll play the 6-drop, we'll play the Corruptor, which is 10 mana exactly, thanks to our Emperor. We'll kill off his 1/1 because if he could be playing Blessings of Kings, I don't know what he's playing. It's just best to, 3 damage isn't a huge deal. He's at 30 health. So, I mean, doing the 3 extra damage with the Corruptor to him directly versus killing a Silverhand Recruit, it's worth it. So he's going to play Consecration, which is going to kill 2 Boom Bots and a Heal Bot. Boom Bot deal directly, 4 directly, and 2 to the Silverhand. I'm glad it wasn't the other way around. We'll play Malagos, passive, end our turn, swing for 12, and then, yeah, end our turn. I already said that. So, alright, we got a Healing Totem, so it's going to heal everybody back up. Not that he has, probably, I don't think he has another Consecration. I mean, he could draw into it, but I doubt it. Could play another Equality. Alright, so it's a Shredder, and it looks like we win next turn. Alright, so going back over the deck list, Ancestral Knowledge, I normally looked at this card and thought it was horrible. Actually, he could buy himself a turn here. We need Earthshock to get past that. Alright, RNG. I mean, we would have probably won either way, but, this just sped this up indefinitely. Okay, so 2 wins in a row. Time to get our 3rd win in. Dragon Shaman's fun, right? Okay. So, Ancestral Knowledge, this is... I wish it was... How do I say this card? It's not a 3-drop like the mages where you draw 2. It's a 2-drop, so you can play it a turn early, but it overloads for 2. So you're essentially paying 4 mana to draw 2 cards. But would you pay 2 mana to draw 1 card? Would you not? Would you pay 1 mana with an overload to draw 1 card? Probably not. Which makes me not particularly like this card, but there's no draw. I don't want to play Mana Tide Totem because most of the time it either just dies right away and it's 3 mana and it only draws 1 at a time. So it sits on the field 2 turns to draw 2 cards for 3 mana, which is pretty close to paying 2 mana or 4 mana for 2 cards. And you get them right away. And we're not playing Totem Shamans. We can't even buff up the totem. So, yeah. Looking at the hand here, we're going to Earthshock the Spider. It may not have been the best play because Earthshock can be used on, if we get Spell Power, it can be used on a Knife Juggler or whatever. But I just think they normally, in my opinion, and in my past experience, the Hunters, for some reason, get ridiculous cards out of their Web Spinners. So we're just going to kill it off. He doesn't get a card. It's a 1-for-1. We were able to draw into a Lightning Storm and our Elemental Destruction along with our Lava Shock. So I think we're pretty much set against this Hunter, to be honest. The only thing now we're looking for is maybe a Healing Wave later on when we get lower. But like I said, we're pretty set. We'll end our turn here. We got another Elemental Destruction. We've got... and a Chill Maul. Our field clear is ridiculous right now. And this Hunter is playing behind curve. He played his 3-drop on turn 3, his weapon, but he has no Mad Scientist. We're obviously going to Hex this. We didn't have to Hex it, but because we have so much field clear... Actually... Yeah, I don't think Hexing it wasn't bad. Oh god, what is he going to get after that? Alright, he got a Raptor. Okay, so I think we might Lightning Storm. We could passive Lightning Storm. No, because that'd be 3, and that's 6. We can coin Lightning Storm Volcanic Drake. Right? Yeah, Volcanic. We can pass it. I think we'll just pass it. Okay, so we got the taunt. And... yeah. We have plenty of field clear. Wasting the Lightning Storm right now is not a big deal. And if he plays a card next turn, which I'm assuming he might... yeah, I mean, he has to play a monster this turn. We'll be able to... oh, shit. This is why I was... why the Hex may have not been great. Is because of the Savannah Highmane. But we do have an Earthshock to deal with it. But we don't want to Earthshock it right away, because I don't want him to know it's not going to be worth anything. So we'll throw out our 2 3s. And... it looks like we'll end our turn here. Best bet, he swings into one of our 2 3s. He's at 3 health. We can passive, get the Spell Power Totem, Earthshock it, Lava Shock, get rid of the locked mana crystals, and maybe play Volcanic Drake depending if our other 2/3 can kill something. Because then it'd be 3 mana and we would have 3 mana. Yeah. Okay, so he swung into the 2/3. That's one of the things that had to happen. Does Tundra Rhino have charge? Okay, so he's going to kill off our 2/3 with his weapon. Alright. That's not expected. So our plan now doesn't work at all. Uh-oh. So we have to pretty much Earth Shock the Savannah Highmane. There's no way around it. And then we'll or Lava Shock it. And then from here, we'll play our Volcanic Drake. For 5 mana, it's not great, but we probably should have played it prior when we had the ability to Chain Lightning, Coin, and Volcanic Drake. That was probably a much better play, because then we would be able to Earth Shock his Highmane and then kill it with the Volcanic Drake, and we would have never had to waste our Lava Shock, and we could have comboed that with Elemental Destruction. So that was a misplay on my part. Alright, and in our turn, Chill Maul's a great play here, because if he decides to attack into it, it's going to trigger the Death Rattle from his Haunted Creeper, it's going to kill the 2/5, or he can silence it. Fucking A. Never mind, none of that worked out. But at least he silenced, now, I can't say, at least he silenced a Chill Maul and not something else, because I can't really think of something else that's better. So we're going to swing into the 3/4 with our Chill Maul, and then Elemental Destruction, and then probably play Azure Drake. No, we're not. We're going to play Healing Wave. We're at 8 health. Fuck it. We have to play safe. Okay, so Elemental Destruction, we'll play the golden one. Hopefully it kills everything. Of course it will, because it does 5 damage. It's insane. And right now we can play the Taunt and passive. We can Azure Drake and draw, or we can heal ourselves. And I really think healing ourselves is the best bet right now. Just because we're playing against a hunter and he can passive, and if he has kill shot, quick shot, whatever the fuck it's called, it just kills us. So Malagos, nice job Malagos. Thanks brother. Thanks brother. Heal me for 14. Back to 22 health. And then next turn we'll have a 5 mana, so we'll be able to play the Azure Drake or the Taunt depending on what what goes on. Okay, so it looks like we should Twilight Guardian and then Lava or Lightning Bolt, either the 3/3 or the 4/3. If we play the Twilight Drake, it has 3 attacks, so there's no way for his chicken. He could silence the chick. He could silence. He could silence. I think killing the 4/3 is better. It just has more attack. I don't think that chicken is gonna live long enough for his Enrage to really do anything. Like, worst case scenario, he like Iron Beaks the 3/6. Alright, Mad Scientist, we win. Nice. If you notice, all mid-range hunters always get Savannah Highmane from this the elite card. This 3/2. They always, it's like their deck has the highest card in. It's like a 6 drop, right? This Savannah Highmane or a Dr. Boom. There's like the 2 biggest cards, and they get that every single time they use that card. So we're Azure Drake. See what we get. We get a Lightning Bolt, which is really nice. We'll passive. We'll Lightning Bolt the 3/2. We're at 15 health, sitting pretty. He has no cards in hand. He does have a weapon, so he has the potential to do 5 damage right now, not counting the card in his hand. He does have 25 health, so we have to draw a Healing Wave pretty soon. So he is swinging for that 5 damage. Another Azure Drake, which is another chance to draw into a Healing Wave. No Healing Wave, so passive into maybe a Taunt Totem. Yes. So unfortunately, if that's a kill command in his hand, and he draws a Call of the Hounds, we lose. Because that'd be 3 damage, 5, that'd be 10 damage exactly. Because 2 Hounds into the Taunt, 3 to the face, passive, and 5. Alright, so we will Hex the Mad Scientist, just so he doesn't get a secret out, and just so he doesn't get past that Taunt Totem. Again, if that's a kill command in his hand with a Call of the Hound, we lose. There's no way around that. We can't heal ourselves, and we only have the Twilight Guardian as a taunt. So it's pretty much just luck at this point. As long as he doesn't draw, that's a kill command in his hand, we lose next turn. Or not a kill command. Holy shit. Alright. So if we Blackwing Corruptor his face, swing for 5, swing for double 4, that is 8, 5, 3, 16 damage. We are one short of fucking lethal. Wow. So we have to kill his little hyena. Swing for 13. And that 4, and if we would have hit 3 to the face, remember, he would have been 1 from it. So this turn, I win next turn, or he wins this turn. This is pretty much what it's gone down to. Well played. Did he get lethal?
Put this apple on your head.
Knife juggler. He's probably trying to make me concede. I don't think he has it, because if that card's been sitting in his hand, and it's not a Call to Hounds. So we'll talk about the deck, because we've won this game. Nice. Alright, Lava Shock, we know why that's good. Pairs well with the Elemental Destruction. It also pairs well with every other Overload. Yeah, he just gave up. Nice. So since we didn't really talk about the deck a ton in these games, we'll talk about it now. So if you've enjoyed it so far, glad to have had you. Have fun with the deck. Be sure to let us know how you do with it. And yeah, for those who want to stick around to kind of talk about some of these cards, no problem. We'll do that right now. So Elemental Destruction, like I said, this deck relies on field clear early game, plus with all of the rush decks running around, the double Elemental Destruction along with the double Lightning Storm, it tears people apart. Like they just, the double Lightning Storm's already like, that's a lot of AoE. But then an Elemental Destruction that does 4 to 5 damage, and if you have Totem it does 5 to 6, I mean that clears out most mid game at that. It even clears out most late game if you have like an Azure Drake and your Spell Power Totem out. So in my opinion, Elemental Destruction, yes, the Overload 5 is really heavy, but you clear the field. There's not... The closest card I can think to a card like this is the Warlock card, the 8-drop, Destroy Everything on the field, and that costs 8 mana, which is exactly how much this costs if you count its Overload. It does have a damage meter on it, but you can use it on turn 3. And you can get rid of the cost of 8 if you combine it with Lava Shock, which isn't out of the question. I mean, it's pretty common. Also, a combo I've used prior to recording was the I had Sylvanas on the field, and he had a priest had taken my Ysera with the Shrink Master Shadow Priest combo. So he took my Ysera, I played Sylvanas, played Elemental Destruction, killed the entire field along with my Sylvanas, took back my Ysera, and won the game. So that's not that that's probably gonna happen, but hey. Anything can happen. It is Hearthstone. So Feral Spirits, this is just an early game card. A lot of people don't play it anymore because of the Overload 2 on it, but we are playing Lava Shock. Remember, Lava Shock, you don't have to always use it with Elemental Destruction. It works well with any Overload. Just make sure you're kind of figuring out the best mana curve. This deck is very... You have to pay attention to the mana and like how much you can have versus how much you'll have next turn. You just gotta think ahead a couple turns, figuring out, you know, will you be able to play the cards that you want while using the overloads you need to use and not dying, because this deck, like I said, early game you're gonna have trouble, but you won't have that much trouble as long as you figure out you get your Lava Shocks, Elemental Destructions, Feral Spirits, Lightning Bolts, and Chain Lightnings. Or Lightning Storm. I call it Chain Lightning, but you know what I meant. Okay, Healing Wave, running 2 of these, healing for 28 for 6 mana, or potentially 28 for 6 mana is incredible, because most of these cards in this deck are 5+ drop. If you're going against an aggro deck, you'll win 80% of the time. If you're going against a control deck, it's like 60% of the time. So the statistics are completely made up. It's honestly just random. You could lose against aggro, you could lose against control, you could win against both. It's joust. What do you want? Okay. Lightning Hex, we've gone over that. Lightning Storm, we've gone over that. Twilight Guardian is an incredible 4-drop. In my opinion, for the Dragons. It's a card Dragons really needed, and you'll notice it's in every single Dragon deck. It's a 3/6 with Taunt for 4 mana. No arguments. Azure Drake, this card it's from the basic set, and it's incredible. It's +1 spell damage, which is really nice for this deck. Draw 1 card, and it's a 4/4 creature, and it's a dragon. You can't ask for more than that. The Corruptor works well in this deck. You can run 1 of these or 2 of these. I found 2 really isn't that bad. It's just having this card in your hand. Having 2 of these, having 4 5-drops is a bit much, because in between Azure Drake and Blackwing Corruptor, most of the time you're going to play Azure Drake. But Blackwing Corruptor does come in handy. So, like, let's say you don't have a Malagos or a Ysera, you can replace one of those with a Blackwing Corruptor if need be. The Emperor, I don't want to say he's not necessary, But because of the amount of high drops in the deck, he really helps put a better curve on the board if you can play him on turn 6. The Windrunner, I'm not going to go over her. She's an amazing card. Volcanic Drake, we've talked about this with the Elemental Destruction and how you can play him for most of the time less than 3 mana. So playing a 3 mana 6/4 after you've cleared the field, and you probably won't be playing anything the following turn if you don't have Lava Shock. Nice card. You can actually bring Volcanic Drake down to 1 if you want to replace him, or replace like maybe some more early game in here, if need be. It's up to you. So Volcanic Drake is interchangeable. The Corruptor is interchangeable. And yeah. Going down to Chill Maul. This card, in my opinion, is pretty much a staple in this deck. It's just because of the aggro going around. So you've used, let's say, like a Lightning Storm and Elemental Destruction already. There's 2 in the deck, and there's not a high probability of you drawing them. At least you have a creature that does almost the same thing as a Lightning Storm if you have a dragon in your hand, and of course you do because you're playing a dragon deck. If you don't, it's unfortunate. Again, it's a card game, but for the most part, you'll have a Chill Maul, and you'll have a dragon besides Chill Maul in your hand, and you'll be able to clear the field. Also, if he's playing Grim Patron, completely shuts it down. I was playing a Grim Patron earlier today, and he brought out the whole board of Grim Patrons. He thought he was so fucking raw. I played Chill Maul. He doesn't have a silence in the deck. His whole field is pretty much rendered useless. Dr. Boom, not even going to go over him. Malygos and Ysera. Malygos, like I said, isn't really needed in this deck if you don't have him. Replacing him with, like I said, if you want to throw in another Corruptor, or you want to maybe throw in, I mean, I don't know what legendaries you guys have. You can leave it in the comment section below if you want some help on what to exchange out. Tell me what you have so I can tell you what's probably best to replace him with. Just saying you don't have a card and what should you replace him with isn't enough information for me to really help you in a good way. I mentioned that before. I don't know what you have. So if you kind of give me a little information on what you have, what you want to do, I can further help you. And then Ysera, I would have to say she's definitely a staple in this deck. This deck has the Azure Drake for draws, and and what is it, Ancestral Knowledge for the draws. But besides that, there's no huge card draw in the deck. Ysera generates cards on her own. She's also an amazing dragon, and she gets you some crazy cards for 2 mana, deal 5 damage to everything on the field. Like, that again is an entire, that's your Elemental Destruction for 2 mana. No overload on that. So yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed kind of the card breakdown. You always expect these from me. This one was a little bit more lengthy because this deck is not your normal deck. Shaman Dragon is played completely different than like Priest Dragon or Warrior Dragon. It definitely has a lot more to it, and with that comes longer explanations. So thank you guys for stopping by the inn. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. As always, I'm here for you guys. Leave comments if you need to, and I'm Warshak and happy whatever the hell day it is.